Hello, welcome to Smucker Company, and thank you for choosing to be a part of our team. My name is Merv Smucker. I'm the owner and president of Smucker Company. Here at Smucker Company, we are committed to your safety. Our safety slogan is Eliminate the Risk. As you personally commit to eliminate the risk at all times, you will create an incident-free workplace and you will return home safely every day. No job, task, or schedule is more important than your health and safety. Smucker Company invests lots of resources and training to provide for safe working conditions. However, you must also take personal responsibility to implement the safety training. We expect everyone at Smucker Company to eliminate the risk at all times and strive to work incident-free every second, every minute, every hour, and every day. Please pay close attention as we review important safety policies and guidelines. We need your help to keep our job sites incident-free.
Welcome to Smucker Company. My name is Amos Diener, Safety Director at the company. When you join our team, you join a company that is dedicated to your safety. The safety pledge you signed describes the mission that drives our safety culture. In the safety pledge, we review how we expect you to approach your task every day you go to work on a Smucker Company job. Our management at every level is committed to ensuring you are equipped to work safely. We believe that every accident is preventable if we use common sense and proper precautions. Our goal is that you return home safely to your loved ones at the end of every day. At your orientation, you were given personal protective equipment that is designed to protect you from injuries at work. In this safety orientation, we will review general OSHA standards and specific policies that are designed with your safety in mind. Our goal is to make sure every employee understands the importance of their role as it pertains to their own safety and the safety of their coworkers. We will examine basic OSHA standards and specific expectations the company has of our employees concerning safety. Topics like fall protection when working from heights, job safety analysis, identifying hazards, and wearing your PPE correctly are just a few of the areas we will review. I wish you great success and hope you have a long, satisfying, and accident-free career at Smucker Company. Every job is led and directed by one of the Smucker Company foremen or crew leaders. They provide oversight of their jobs and are recognized by OSHA as a competent person on the job. They have the responsibility and authority to direct our field workers with daily tasks and are the company representatives to the general contractor. Our foremen, crew leaders, and other members of our management team wear a white hard hat in order to distinguish themselves for our general contractors, and they report to the project managers.
One of our most basic and important safety rules is that employees must use personal protective equipment, known as PPE, in all work areas. At a minimum, field workers must wear a red Smucker Company hard hat properly worn with the bill facing forward, safety glasses with side shields, approved work boots, and a high visibility shirt or vest are also part of the PPE you are expected to wear at all times. Our safety manual states that employees must wear shirts with sleeves and long pants. Sweatpants are not permitted. Any clothing with lewd or offensive messaging is not allowed. Some tasks require specific PPE. For example, a face shield in addition to safety glasses is required when using any grinder or a chop saw and when installing top track near fireproofing. Another common injury on job sites are lacerations. Sharp tools and sharp edges on materials present a serious safety hazard. We require all employees to wear cut-resistant gloves when framing or performing cleanup. Hearing protection is required when using a chop saw, grinder, or powder-actuated gun and when a requirement sign is posted. Earplugs or earmuffs are a proven method of hearing protection. In addition, wear hearing protection when you are working in a noisy environment. A general guideline is, if you have to shout to be heard, you should be using hearing protection. Another important element of eliminating the risk is conducting a visual risk assessment. We ask every employee to take a few minutes before each task and identify any potential hazards. We call this process Job Safety Analysis, or JSA. The purpose of conducting a JSA is that before we begin work in an area, we identify any potential hazards, including falls, tripping hazards, falling objects, electrical hazards, fire or burns, pinch points, health hazards, or any other potential job site hazards. After identifying potential hazards, the next step is to agree on how to control them so no one gets hurt. If your job assignment changes throughout the day, or if a new hazard arises in the work area, you are required to conduct a new visual JSA. On certain jobs, you may be required to complete a written job safety analysis. Your foreman will make sure that you have the correct JSA forms on these jobs. Falls are the leading cause of death for workers on construction sites. At Smucker Company, we enforce the OSHA 6-foot fall protection standard. If a general contractor differs from that OSHA standard, Smucker Company will defer to that job-specific rule required by them. There are several types of fall protection. The most common forms of fall protection are guardrail systems and personal fall arrest systems. A guardrail must be used around any open edge or floor opening where there is a fall of 6 feet or greater. Guardrails consist of the top rail at 42 inches high, mid-rail at 21 inches, and a toe board. Top rails must be designed to withstand 200 pounds of pressure from any direction. A personal fall arrest system consists of a full body harness, a lanyard, and an anchorage point. Usually, an anchorage connector is required to attach the lanyard to the anchorage point. The general rule for the strength of an anchorage point is that it must be capable of supporting 5,000 pounds. If 2 employees are tied off to the anchorage point, it must support 10,000 pounds. Employees using personal fall arrest systems must be trained for that purpose. There are other forms of fall protection, but they may only be used in specific situations. For example, warning lines may be used for fall protection, but only for work on flat roofs. Covers are a form of fall protection to keep employees from falling into or stepping into floor openings. Any floor opening greater than 2 inches wide must be covered. The cover must be secured against displacement and labeled with the word hole or cover. Much of our work is performed on scaffolds. Falls, falling objects, and collapse are serious hazards that we must protect against whenever working on or around scaffolds. As mentioned previously, our company has a 6-foot fall protection policy. If the scaffold platform is 6 feet or higher, it needs full guardrails and toe boards around all open sides. If all the guardrails are not in place or the platform is not fully decked, you may need to tie off with personal fall arrest systems while on the scaffold. Please conduct a visual test prior to working on a scaffold to make sure the pins and deck are properly in place. The foreman or competent person must oversee the scaffold building, alteration, or dismantling. They must also inspect the scaffold daily to determine if it is safe for use. Step ladders are another common option for working at heights. Make sure you use the correct ladder for the job, and if you don't know, ask. When using a step ladder, you must face the ladder and keep 3 points of contact when ascending or descending. Step ladders must be in the fully open position with the braces locked. The last step and the top of the step ladder are both off limits. No standing, sitting on, or straddling the top of a step ladder. Never perform work on a step ladder that is leaning against a wall. Extension ladders must be carefully placed on level ground with slip-resistant feet. The ladder must be set at an angle so that the base of the ladder is 1/4 of the working height. A good way to approximate this angle is to place your feet at the base of the ladder and reach your arms straight out. If extension ladders are used to gain access to another level, they must extend at least 3 feet beyond the upper landing, and the ladder must be secured to the structure. Ladders are to be inspected every day by the user, checked for cracked side rails, loose rungs, missing or bent pieces, or any other damage. If any defects are found, immediately take the ladder out of use and report it to your foreman or crew leader. Aerial work platforms are another common method of working at heights. Before using any type of lift on a job site, you must go through the proper training. Lifts need to be visually inspected at the beginning of each task. There may be occasions when an inspection needs to be documented and should cover the basket controls, the ground controls, the carriage, and work area. A full body harness with the appropriate lanyard attached to the basket is always required when working on a boom lift. On certain projects, a harness may be required in a scissor lift as well. When working in an aerial lift, always stand on the platform. Never climb the rails or any other objects to gain additional height. Employees using stilts to perform any tasks will be trained in their proper use. Always make sure the area you are working on has been properly prepared. Sweep the floor and inspect for any screws or materials that could be considered a trip hazard. Remove all cords to prevent the possibility of tripping. Check the stilts prior to walking on them to be sure they are assembled correctly. Check all bolts and nuts to ensure they did not loosen during any previous use. If necessary, use caution tape over openings to ensure other workers do not place any tripping hazards, materials, tools, or equipment in the work area. Arrange materials at waist height to eliminate the need to bend below the waist to retrieve them.
Tools and equipment. Our work is performed by utilizing many different tools. The safe use of tools is one of your most important functions as an employee. Think of it this way. What are some basic functions of safely operating a tool? Following are some best practices regarding the use of your personal and company tools. Never cut material pointing the knife toward you or a coworker. Always unplug the tool from the power source before you begin making any repairs on it. Do not leave a loaded powder-actuated gun unattended. Do not operate any tools or equipment without permission and instructions. All personal tools must be well maintained and kept in good working order. Any company tools that are damaged must be taken out of service and tagged until corrective measures have been completed by our shop manager. Common sense is one of the fundamentals of using tools, so if common sense does not apply, don't use it. Fire safety. Fire safety is a top priority on any construction site. Fire safety basics include storing flammable and combustible materials properly. Another important element of fire safety is having a fire extinguisher readily available in all work areas. If you ever use a fire extinguisher, be sure to report it to your foreman or crew leader so that the extinguisher can be replaced. Electrical safety. Electrical hazards on a construction site can include shocks, burns, fires, and arc flashes. One of the most important safety tasks is to inspect your electrical equipment before every use. Check for loose plugs, damaged insulation, and missing ground prongs. Smucker Company requires that all electrical equipment be protected with a ground fault circuit interrupter or GFCI. If a receptacle is not equipped with a GFCI, a portable GFCI must be used and any cords or tools should be plugged into it. Overhead power lines are another serious safety hazard on construction sites. Keeping a safe distance is the best way to ensure safety around overhead power lines. Our rule is a minimum distance of at least 20 feet for cranes, aerial lifts, trucks, and other equipment. This distance is even further for high voltage lines. Housekeeping and cleanup. Housekeeping makes a big difference with job site safety. A clean and organized work area is a safe work area. Get in the habit of cleaning up scraps and extra materials as you go. Don't wait until the end of the day to clean up. Put tools and equipment away when they are not in use and always keep walkways, exits, stairs, and ladder areas clear. Slips and trips are one of our most common causes of injuries. Taking the time to clean up your work area will eliminate the risk of accidents occurring. Accident reporting. Report any work-related injury or illness to your foreman. Many times, minor aches and pains can turn into serious problems, so it is important to let your foreman know. In addition, please report any accidents involving property damage, equipment damage, vehicle incidents, and harm to the environment. Close calls should also be reported to your foreman. A close call could have resulted in an injury or accident. By reporting all accidents and close calls, we can learn from our mistakes and prevent repeat accidents in the future. You may be asked to provide a witness statement if you are involved in an incident. Remember, The reason we report and investigate accidents is to identify and correct the underlying causes and prevent them from happening in the future. If you are injured on the job, notify your foreman or crew leader immediately. Our foremen and crew leaders are trained in first aid procedures. If you need any additional medical attention beyond first aid, we have a network of providers set up with occupational medicine specialists. Your foreman or the Smucker Company safety director will advise you of the closest facility and arrange for your transportation. We have a light duty program for work-related injuries. If modified work restrictions are required by your doctor, we will find work for you within these restrictions.
Sprains and strains are some of the most common injuries on construction sites. They can be caused by overexertion such as heavy lifting, awkward body positions, or repetitive reaching, bending, gripping, and twisting. Even seemingly harmless body movements such as reaching overhead can cause problems if repeated over and over. When performing your job safety analysis each day, identify potential tasks that will require exertion and repetition and think of ways to lessen the risk. Control measures may include better body positioning, getting help from a coworker, job rotation, and utilizing ergonomics before tackling the heavy jobs. Starting every day with a few minutes of stretching and flexing is a proven method of limiting injuries to soft tissue and muscles. Use good lifting techniques by using your legs when lifting or handling heavy materials, and never overdo it when lifting. Other control measures include the use of carts and other mechanical equipment to limit manual lifting if possible. In the history of Smucker Company, the two most expensive types of injuries have been strains by reaching and carrying. Every day we reach for heavy materials that cause pressures on our bodies and if not properly maintained, will cause injury. Over time, our bodies become more rigid unless they are conditioned by using some proven stretch and flex exercises. The area of our body most impacted by these injuries is our shoulders and back. They bear the brunt of the weight of the materials we use. Stretching and lifting properly are two things we can utilize to make sure we do all we can to eliminate the risk of injury. Never lift more than you are comfortable with, and get someone to help you if the material is too heavy or bulky. Every sport requires their athletes to stretch before they go on the field. They place incredible importance and priority on preparing their body to engage in the physical action their sport requires. They take it very seriously, and we need to as well. Here are some proven ergonomics that will help you as you prepare for your day at work. Neck stretching. Tilt your head to the side without twisting your neck and use your hand to reach across and move towards your shoulder. Do not pull hard. Rather, use the weight of your arm. Another way to stretch your neck is to slowly rotate your neck in circular motion with no jerks or sudden movements. Shoulder rolls. Roll your shoulders in a circular motion towards your chest. Then, repeat in the opposite direction. Remember to do this in a slow, smooth motion. Forearm stretching. Extend your arm forward and keep your elbows straight. Point your fingers upward and gently pull back with the other hand. Then, repeat with the other arm. Chest stretching. Clasp your hands behind your back, push your chest forward, and pull your shoulders back. Tricep stretching. Point your arm up in the air and bend at the elbow so your hand is behind your head. Gently pull down on your elbow towards your head. Then repeat with the other arm. Shoulder and tricep stretching. Put your hand on the opposite shoulder. Reach across with the other arm and pull elbow towards your chest. Then repeat with the other arm. Lower back stretching. Stand with your feet approximately shoulder width apart. Twist and lean forward to touch your toes with the opposite hand and extend the other arm in the air behind you.
Remember, do not make any sudden movements or bouncing motions. General back stretching. Use a wall or a solid surface and twist the upper body slowly until you feel a slight stretch in the back. Complete exercise in both directions.
An employee state certified safety committee oversees and directs our safety program. The committee is responsible to set policies, make changes to the program as necessary, and investigate accidents. The committee may consist of field workers, a foreman, the safety director, and management team members. Field employee members volunteer to sit on the committee. The meeting occurs once per month. Committee decisions are made by majority vote. A safe working environment is vital for the welfare of our company and the good of the company. Our goal is 0 accidents and incidents. This is achievable since all accidents are preventable. However, it can only be done with everyone's full cooperation and active participation. Eliminating the risk is the first step to ensure the goal of safety is met. In conclusion, thanks for choosing Smucker Company. Thank you for watching the safety orientation video, and welcome to the team.